within a day, my neurosurgeon comes up and he goes, yep. Didn't work. So it did what he needed to do, but the gummy substance was still building up, and that was stopping the fluid from draining.
Mm-hmm.
So then he told me that they were going to have to put in a VP shunt, which is very common in children. The fluid buildup, the term for it's called hydrocephalus. It's very common in young children, and a VP shunt is very common in young children. And it's a drain that goes into the ventricle, and it goes down the back of my head and down my neck and then into my abdomen and drains out into my abdomen. So a week after my second craniotomy, on December 12th, which is also my dad's birthday, I had a third surgery for the VP shunt placement. And then within a couple of days, I was coming home. I came home December 14th. And then I ended up back in the hospital like 4 or 5 days later. I ended up getting they were giving me heparin shots in the hospital for blood clots. And they never sent me home with anything like to help with like blood clots, or like they never sent me home on a blood thinner. And I went from being a very, very active person to laid up in a hospital bed. So within a couple of days of being home, I had a blood clot form in my leg. So they put me on blood thinners. And I thought it was a Charlie horse. It felt like a Charlie horse. So like Kyle was massaging my leg, and they think that part of that broke off and ended up in my lung. And I ended up with a pulmonary embolism. So it's the week of Christmas, and I am now in Buff Gen in the ER, and I was there for 2 days. And that was the first time I cried. Like that was the first time that I lost it. It was like in the afternoon, we went to Buff Gen, and they admitted me because they just wanted to keep an eye on me with everything going on. And I was like, whatever, fine. They put me in this room with this like 85-year-old woman. She had the lights on her side. She was blasting Christmas music all night. And so I barely slept. And then it's like maybe 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. And my neurosurgeon walked in. Mind you, we had been through hell and back at this point. And he walks in, and I just couldn't stop crying. Like I just lost it. And at that point, he had shaved like the front part of my head to put the drain in. He had to shave the back part of my hair to put in the VP shunt. So my hair is all patchy, and it's already falling out with everything that my body had gone through. So like I'm a mess. I'm crying, and he just walks over and like puts his hand on my shoulder and just sat with me. He's like, "It's fine." He's like, "We're gonna shave your hair. It's gonna be fine. You're gonna walk down the aisle. It's gonna be great." So that was the first time that I really was like, I'm done. This has been a lot. I've been through enough. And then my mom and my nana came in to visit me around like 11, and they walked in, same thing, lost it. Couldn't stop crying. And they both sat on either side of me and just held my hand, let me just get it all out. And like 2 hours later, Kyle shows up. Again, I lose it. Like I just couldn't, the tears like wouldn't stop coming. And I just couldn't stop. So I was in Buff Gen for a couple days, and I came home a couple days before Christmas, and haven't had to stay in a hospital since. But yeah, since then they've taken me off of all the heart medication. I'm officially off of blood thinners. And so far they really just have me on Keppra, which is it's like an anti-seizure medication, just to kind of make sure I don't have any seizures with all the brain activity I've had. And then we found out that there were only 2 small parts of the tumor left. So after we'd gotten through all of that, back in February, my neurosurgeon said, "You've got a couple pieces of the tumor left. We're going to keep an eye on it. You're probably going to need gamma knife radiation." And I actually just had gamma knife on Thursday. I had gamma knife radiation. So they treated that, and we'll find out in a couple months if it actually worked and if the tumor is actually gone.
Wow.
It's
I don't know where you're telling me, my goodness, I can't even imagine. Oh my goodness. I don't even know where to start. Yes, you are so strong. I would have been crying that whole time. And not that like crying means that you're not strong, but like I can't, like I am a crier for emotional things. So I feel like I would be crying.
I feel like I'm the one in my family, I'm the one in my family that fixes everything. Like I love my brothers, don't get me wrong, love my parents, but like I'm the one that has it together. Like something
Mhm.
happens, I'm the one that's always there. Um, whether I'm moving someone back home or my sister-in-law moved down to Virginia to be with my brother after they got married. I moved her down there. Um, I'm at my parents' house for like I'm always there fixing things. So I felt like that was a huge part of like why I was able to keep it together for so long.
Mhm.
And then
Mhm.
I feel like it just kind of I was just so exhausted at that point when I was in Buff Gen that last time, and I just wanted to be home. And it was just like everything that I had been feeling and building up and like pushing down, just like the floodgates opened and it just never stopped.
Yeah. I that is so much. Oh my goodness. I was getting like updates from
Mm-hmm.
your one of those things
Oh
that
yeah, yeah.
I can't
My
remember.
friend from work made a meal train for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was sweet. But I had no idea how much it was. I know that I was trying to understand it and I was like, this is
Yeah,
a lot. Like this poor girl. But oh my goodness.
I don't understand. I don't
Yeah,
understand. Like I
I was
don't
gonna
understand.
I was gonna say you had to, like, read the notes to so was there just so much going on that, like, they didn't have time to explain it to you, or they did and you forgot, or what do you
I definitely forgot a lot
Yeah.
for sure. They Roswell has an app where it tells you like all of your appointments, and then it has like
Mhm,
notes on all your visits. So I just remember I was in Roswell going through the app, and I found like open notes, and it showed notes, and it went like there were a lot of notes because it was notes
mhm,
from nurses, doctors, like everything in there, um, and it detailed everything, stuff that even like the doctors and nurses didn't even tell Kyle and my parents about. So then I was taking screenshots of it, sending it to my sister-in-law. She's in nursing school, and I'm like, Sarah, is this like, what does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? She's like, oh, that just means like you couldn't hold your bladder. So I was essentially like peeing myself because I was so out of it that I
right.
just control my bodily functions. Um, so that's how I found out about a lot of things that had happened. Because there was a lot that happened that like nobody was around for. It was just the doctors and nurses. Um, we were very lucky. My neurosurgeon and his whole team, they were very good at explaining things to us, and they came in to see us every single day, multiple times a day. They were coming in to see us, and they answered all of our questions, no matter like how stupid the questions were. They answered them honestly and gave us the best answers. And they didn't sugarcoat anything, which I think was really important for us. We just need to hear like the God honest truth.
Mhm,
What's happening? What does she need? How much longer is it going to take? How much longer am I going to be here?
mhm,
And kind of what to expect.
mhm,
But they were very good at communicating. I think the hardest thing was that the doctors would make their rounds in the morning with all Roswell's a teaching hospital, right? So they have
mhm,
all these students that are learning. So the doctor, whoever the doctor was in the ICU, would stand outside my door with like 6 other doctors around him and be talking about me.
mhm.
And I'd be laying there in my bed facing them, like, hey, what are we talking about? What are we
Yeah.
saying?
Wow.
And they would just keep walking and walking and walking, and that's what they did every morning. They would not come in to see me. It would be my neurosurgeon or like my ICU nurses that would come in to see me and talk to
So
me.
it's not like Grey's Anatomy where they come in and say it in front of you?
No, no,
No?
no.
I don't know if you watch Grey's
Oh
Anatomy.
my god. Oh my god, I was watching Grey's Anatomy. Like I was full in like, and
Yeah.
I'd watched it before, but like I was watching it,
Yeah.
and then as soon as I found out about my tumor, I stopped. I'm like, I can't.
Yeah, I
I'm
can
not watching
definitely
it. And
understand
I have
that.
not. Yep, haven't watched it since. Nope.
Did you have a McDreamy type neurosurgeon?
I had a dreamy type nurse.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I thought he was super attractive. Mind you, Kyle's very good looking, and I love him. He's my husband.
Mhm.
But like,
We know,
there
we
was
know.
there was this nurse who I'm not going to name names. Everyone in my family knows who he is, and I thought he was super attractive. Oh my god, he's really good looking. To the point where I was texting. I have a big family on my dad's side of the family with a group chat, and I was texting them. Oh, the hottest nurse. Oh my god! And my oldest cousin, picture. Send us a picture. I'm like, I can't do that. Um, and I wear contacts or glasses, and I wasn't wearing them most of the time I was in the hospital, so my vision was very skewed at that point. And I ran into him. had gone for therapy at Roswell, and I was at the Spot Coffee in the lobby, and I like looked over and I'm like, is that him? He looks a lot older and not as good looking as I thought he was. The first thing that I did, the first thing so I went up to him, I said hi, and introduced myself. He remembered me, gave me a hug. He's like, "You look fantastic. Thanks." Um, First thing I did, I got into my truck and I called my dad. I'm like, "Oh my God, Dad, you would not believe it. I saw insert sexy name here."
Mhm.
And I was like, "He's not that good looking. Not as good looking as I thought he was." And of course, I got home. I told Kyle, I'm like, "You're never gonna guess who I saw." Um, that was the only one. That's the one instance. That's the one McDreamy that I had.
Yeah.
He was fun. He was
That's
very nice
funny.
and like took care of me. And I had a lot of fantastic nurses in the ICU, but it was him and a couple other ones that were just like very, very
Yeah.
wonderful. Took great care of me throughout the whole time I was there. A lot of them I got to ring the bell at Roswell. And a
Mhm.
lot of my nurses and the ICU staff and the neuro team, they all came
Aw.
and were there when I rang the bell back in the beginning of May, which is really exciting.
I
So,
love that. That's so
yeah,
sweet. That makes such a difference, like, having that connection and because you feel like there is some, like, vested, like, care, like, they actually want to see, and
right.
this is not even close to your scale of experience, especially because you have it firsthand, but my son has a very rare disease, and
Yes,
he goes to Oshai, and it's very difficult to manage all the doctors and like I could almost cry like right now because I know how difficult it is. I can't even imagine like because it's all happening so quickly and with us it's things that are not slowly but it's just things that we don't have to address right away, you know what I mean? So I mean I give you and your family so much credit for navigating that. Did you think to look outside of Roswell for like neurosurgeons or anything, or were you, I mean I know you were kind of, yeah, you were on a time crunch anyways, but I know that they are awesome there, so I'm so glad that you were able to get it all done in Buffalo.
yeah, yeah. And all the doctors, after all the complications I had, they had me seeing a cardiologist, a pulmonologist. I'm still seeing a hematologist, and all these doctors are all at Roswell. So
That's great.
I've only had to go to Roswell for all these doctors.
I definitely think that makes a huge difference too. But yeah, that's amazing you got to ring the bell. I think I saw a picture of that actually.
Yeah, they
Yeah, that is
made a whole
incredible.
TikTok of it. That was like my first thing. I was like, when they shaved my head. Some people tell me that I had a choice in shaving my head. I look at it as I didn't really have a choice because my hair was really patchy.
Yeah.
Um, Initially told me I was having surgery. My first question was, "Are you going to shave my hair?" And my
Mm,
neurosurgeon like looked at my hair, looked at my scalp. He goes, "No, I could do it without shaving." And my first surgery, he didn't have to shave anything. But then after the drain and after the VP shunt, they had to shave certain areas. And after just everything my body went through, my hair was starting to fall out.
mhm,
And my hair length has always kind of been all over the place. There's times where
mhm,
I'm like, my hair's so long, I need to cut it. But at this
mhm,
point, I was like, I'm growing my hair out for my wedding. It's going to be beautiful.
mhm,
And then they had to shave spots. And I kept on telling my neurosurgeon, like, we're just going to shave it at this point.
mhm,
And, and I was fine when they shaved it. Um, but I just remember like I'm gonna keep taking pictures of my hair as my hair grows. And every Friday I was in the bathroom taking a picture of my hair growing back. And people kept on saying, "Oh, you're gonna hit that point where it's like an awkward. It's at an awkward phase now. I feel like a teenage boy. I got the nice flow in the back with my baseball hat on." And I tell Kyle that all the time. I'm like, oh, I feel like a little boy with this hat on and my hair flow. My hair is so short. It's like, you are not a little boy. You do not look like a little boy. He's like, you're beautiful. And he constantly tells me
mhm,
that I'm beautiful, which I don't always feel that way. And I know a lot of girls, women have those feelings. But he makes me feel beautiful, which is important. Um, but yeah, it was just, I remember like seeing pictures of what my tumor looked like on the MRI scans and pictures of my dad took pictures of me on the ventilator, which like I would not have believed I was on a ventilator unless I
mm,
had pictures like to actually show me and prove to me that I was on a ventilator. So I took like the pictures of my tumor from the MRI, the pictures of me on a ventilator, a couple pictures of me